Hi students, a very good morning to all of you. I am Professor Dr. Anurag Agarwal and this is OSN Academy of English since 1998. आप बिल्कुल भी हैरान मत होइएगा कि आज का जो टॉपिक है वो वाकई में मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट है for the UGC NET, for the MPPSC and for all the examinations which are top rooted. Why? Because this topic is undoubtedly not very easy to understand, and that is why the students request I am coming to you with this so that you may have a great knowledge about Elaine Showalter towards a feminist poetics. And before I start this session, have a copy and pen so that you may keep on writing and keep commenting here whenever you have any problem. On the screen, you will find so many batches which are running for the entire nation literature students from the TGT to the IS level. And I'm very proud to say that so many students of OSN Academy, they have joined as assistant professor permanent in different colleges of the country, including Charolika Dhawan in Delhi University. And one of my students has also got the IPS cadre, Suva Snigdha, that is, she has qualified IS 2022. After completing her training session, we were very proud to know that she got the IPS cadre from Government of India. So congratulations Suva, congratulations Charolika and all my dear students who have so much faith, and we are proud to say that the students entire country, they are making their career under my guidance for different examinations. I hope today's lecture will give you a more impetus, a more love for affection for literature, and this topic will be very easy for you, though I understand that it is not so easy. Now, just be live with me, share the live link to the students, and just press the like button or subscribe the channel if you have not done so. Next. Now, before I start any author, any topic, the most important and the priority is to know about the author before knowing this towards a feminist poetics. Why? Because before we know, we have to know who is Elaine Showalter. And Elaine Showalter was born 21st of January 1941. 21st January 1941, the birth date, so that you may also know कि ये किस era की हैं, modern की हैं, post modern की हैं, किस century की हैं, so that you have the mind to understand that who is Elaine Showalter. Apart from this, she is known as a great American literary critic. American literary critic. Keep noting down. She was a great American literary critic, a teacher, teacher. And number 3, she was also founder of Gynocritics. Very important, इस पे क्वेश्चन आता है. Founder of Gynocritics. And what is this? A school of feminist criticism. A school of feminist criticism concerned with, and what is this concerned with, students? Women as writer, with the history, with the themes, with the genres and structures of literature by women. I would also try to give you in detail so that you may have a writing in your copy also. Just note it down, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर questions आता है बच्चों, that she was an American literary critic, she was a teacher, she was a founder of Gynocritics, and what is this? A school of feminist criticism. And this school of feminist criticism is concerned with women as writer. Women as writer, इसको लिख लीजिए ऐसे. Women as writer with the history, with the oblique, with the history, oblique themes, oblique genres, history, themes, genres, and structures of literature, and structures of literature by women. Now, this will actually complete the things to make you understand in a simple way. So this is how you have to understand about Elaine Showalter. See, this author and the topic is important because whenever you are going for any interview and you say that my concerned area is theory or like this, they can ask, who is the main author which you love? The moment you will remember what I have taught, immediately you can say, sir, I have read Elaine Showalter. It will also give you a good impetus in the interview session. Fine. So, Showalter की जो पढ़ाई हुई है, Showalter studied English at, you can say, somewhere in the University of California. And she joined the faculty of Douglas College, the women's division of Rutgers University, and that too in 1969. Slowly and steadily, when she joined as a faculty, she developed women's studies courses. क्या develop किया उन्होंने? Women's studies courses. While as a faculty at Rutgers University, she developed the women's studied courses, and then she began editing. She also started contributing to what? Contributing to books, oblique articles. She started contributing, oblique you can say, to periodicals. She started doing all these things about women literature because she had started this course. So whatever she was starting, she was writing, contributing in as articles, as to books, as to the periodicals. It was all about women's literature. बाद में उन्होंने रटगर्स एंड प्रिंसटन यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाया भी. Later on, she also taught at the Rutgers and the Princeton University. Neither of which, जिसमें कि दोनों ने, neither of which hired women when she began her teaching career. दोनों ने women को कभी hire नहीं किया था जब इन्होंने अपना career पहला शुरुआत किया. And yes, to tell you that Elaine Showalter retired from Princeton as Professor Emeritus. एक बड़ा नाम होता है. She retired as Professor Emeritus in 2003. Apart from this, Showalter also spent time as a freelance journalist. She became a freelance journalist and earned a lot of name and fame in the literary canvas, in the literary world, and even she became a media commentator, freelance journalist. Freelance journalist, and apart from this, she also became a media commentator. She became a media commentator. Good morning, my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. I hope you will like this session very much. Just be till the end of the session, and I'm really very much sure that you are going to be a very learned student as far as Elaine Showalter and this topic is concerned. Fine. And my dear students, those who are career oriented, who want to win their race right from TGT to the IS Optional English NET JRF, there are several batches which are going on live, recorded and all. So hurry up, download the application and start your journey. Now, Showalter developed her doctoral thesis. शोवाल्टर ने क्या किया कि उन्होंने अपनी जो पीएचडी थी, अपनी जो डॉक्टरल थीसिस थी, उसको डेवलप किया as her first book. For example, there are many scholars. For example, I did my PhD in American literature way back in 2000. So many scholars, many professors, they turn their thesis into the book form, which I did not do. I can also do. I can also make my thesis a book and can even, it can be published into the market. So Showalter developed her doctoral thesis into her first book, and the name of that first book is A Literature of Their Own. Very important. A Literature of Their Own. This is her PhD thesis turning into a book, A Literature of Their Own. इसके आगे ऐसे कोलन लगा लेंगे और पूरा नाम है ब्रिटिश विमेन नॉवेलिस्ट. लंबा है. ब्रिटिश विमेन नॉवेलिस्ट फ्रॉम ब्रॉन्टे टू लेसिंग. फ्रॉम शैलॉट ब्रॉन्टे सिस्टर्स टू लेसिंग. बहुत अच्छा पीएचडी वर्क है ये, एंड दिस केम आउट इन 1977. Students who are watching me here, who are students who are going to take the big examinations like MPPSC, like NET JRF set, these type of questions are asked in the, you can say, जो कॉलम वाइज होता है, जिसमें मैच द फॉलोइंग होता है, जिसमें डेट्स देखनी होती हैं, जिसमें पिक द ऑड मैन आउट होता है. So this integrated knowledge is going to help you. How many of you were knowing this work? Please tell me, students, कितने बच्चों को ये पता था कि ये वर्क उसकी डॉक्टरल थीसिस है, पहली बुक है और ये एलेन शोवाल्टर का है? Just please tell me on the comment box. Now, I will be waiting for your messages. What is this work, students? This is actually a pioneering study. Pioneering मतलब होता है जिसने शुरुआत की. So एलेन शोवाल्टर का ये एक pioneering study था जिसमें उन्होंने क्रिएट किया. और क्या क्रिएट किया? She created a critical framework. She was an architecture of literature. She was a great architect as far as literature is concerned. So she created a critical framework for what? For analyzing literature by women. इनकी जो नेक्स्ट बुक थी, किसी को नाम पता है? Can anybody tell me what was the name of her next book, and which is also very important for you? What is the name? The name is The Female Malady. The Female Malady. This is the next book. The full name is The Female Malady, Women, Madness and English Culture. Women, Madness and English Culture. And English Culture. And this book was a historical examination of women. What was this? कोई पूछे, कोई क्वेश्चन आ जाए तो आपको पता होना चाहिए that this book was a historical examination. It was a historical examination. It was a historical examination of women and the practice of psychiatry and the practice of psychiatry. Apart from this, she also wrote Sexual Anarchy. Sexual Anarchy, ये भी एलेन शोवाल्टर का वर्क है. पूरा नाम है जेंडर एंड कल्चर. जेंडर एंड, आगे देखिए, ये इनका सेकेंड वर्क था. इसका डिटेल मैंने आपको बताया. ये पूरा, ये देखिए, ये नाम है इसका, ये डिटेल है. एंड देन दिस इज द नेक्स्ट वर्क, सेक्सुअल एनार्की, जेंडर एंड कल्चर एट द फिन डे सीकल. At the Fin de Siècle, and that was in 1990. Fine. So in this way, you have to remember what are the major works of such a great name, Ellen Showalter. Moreover, apart from this, one of America's foremost academic literary scholars, अगर आपको नहीं पता है तो ध्यान से सुन लीजिए कि ये उन लिटरेरी स्कॉलर्स में, अमेरिका के मान लीजिए बहुत सारे अमेरिकन लिटरेरी स्कॉलर्स हैं. सो शी इज वन ऑफ द फोरमोस्ट, द टॉप रेटेड स्कॉलर्स, एंड शी इज रिनाउंड फॉर हर pioneering feminist studies of the 19th and the 20th century female authors. And इनका जो कल्चरल एनालिसिस था वो बेसिकली प्रोवोकेटिव है, भड़काने वाला है. हर प्रोवोकेटिव कल्चरल एनालिसिस ऑफ वुमेन्स ऑपरेशन. अगर वुमेन्स ऑपरेशन की हम बात करें तो यू कैन एंजॉय डॉक्टर मंजू कपूर्स novels, and she has been a famous professor of Miranda College, Delhi University. She talks about women's oppression. Why this oppression again and again with Indian women? So Dr. Manju Kapoor talks about women's oppression. I have read many of her. एक novel है उसकी, Difficult Daughters. You will really enjoy that novel. Tears will come out in your eyes when you will read Difficult Daughters by Dr. Manju Kapoor. She talks about women's oppression. So, my dear students, Ellen Showalter is renowned for her pioneering feminist studies of the 19th and the 20th century female authors and her provocative cultural analysis of women's oppression in the history of psychiatry. अगर हम इनकी एक जो इन्फ्लुएंशियल बुक है जो मैंने शुरुआत में बताया था, दैट इज हर PhD thesis turning into a book that is a literature of their own, British women novelists from Bronte to Lessing. उसमें शोवाल्टर ने दिखाया है, शोवाल्टर advanced a new form of feminist theory under the term gynocriticism. मैंने आपको शुरुआत में बताया था, she is a founder of gynocriticism, gynocritic. So she came out with a new form of feminist theory, literary theory under the term gynocriticism. And this offered actually an alternative framework for the interpretation of women's literary history. Any questions? Anything, my dear students, you are unable to understand? Are you liking this session? A very different session indeed. A very literary session actually hai, which you see, which I teach in the universities and the big platforms where the students, they have the intellect to understand that level of lecture. But yes, without this lecture, without these sessions, the NET or the MPPSC or the top rated interviews are not possible, my dear students. Good morning, all of you. Good morning. Please come on the platform and show your presence that, sir, I'm live here with you and I'm enjoying the session. How many of you are enjoying the session? कितने लोग को अच्छा लग रहा है ये? Now, Showalter ने क्या किया? Showalter forged the branch of feminist criticism known as history, Ystory. Showalter forged the branch of feminist criticism known as history, which was actually an attempt to reinterpret and to redefine the pejorative notion of women's hysteria as it has been embodied in the literary and the social history. If I talk about Showalter's contributions to feminist criticism and women's studies, they have actually helped influence the canon of British and American literature. इसने बहुत हेल्प किया है उस ब्रिटिश लिटरेचर एंड अमेरिकन लिटरेचर के कैनवस को, उसके कैनन को इन्फ्लुएंस करने की कोशिश किया है. इनके वजह से उसमें आया है न्यू विजिबिलिटी. It has brought new visibility. It has brought new legitimacy to often forgotten or underappreciated female authors. कि जिनको हम भूल गए थे, जिन ऑथर्स को हमने कभी अप्रिशिएट नहीं किया था या अंडर अप्रिशिएट किया था. फाइन. So these are the few things which you have to keep in mind when you study Elaine Showalter. How many students are loving this session? Just with a symbol of love and affection. Any questions? Now, we will talk about some of the major works. Good morning, Chavi. What major works में अगर हम बात करें among the founding scholars of feminist literary criticism, founding scholars, Founding, founding scholars of feminist literary criticism, feminist literary criticism short में लिख रहा हूं, and women studies short में लिख रहा हूं. Founding scholars of feminist literary criticism and women studies in America. Showalter ने एक नया आयाम ले आया. He broke new ground in the 1970s. And how he broke the new ground in the 1970s? He did it by creating a progressive literary theory. एक progressive literary theory को create किया और उसको कहा गया gynocriticism. क्या कहा गया? gynocriticism. कई बार क्वेश्चंस आपको मिलेगा इसको आपको हर एग्जाम में. Students, in case you are liking my session, just press a like button so that I may feel that yes, you have loved this session, or by liking this session, it makes your teacher happy. That's all. Suman Gupta, thank you. So, Elaine Showalter has broken a new ground in the 1970s by creating a progressive literary theory known as gynocriticism. Unlike traditional literary criticism, जैसा कि आपने literary criticism पारंपरिक वाला देखा होगा, unlike that traditional literary criticism, gynocriticism focused on अब यहां पे ये इंपॉर्टेंट है बात समझने की. इसने फोकस किसको किया? focused on history, focused on themes, focused on history, themes, genres, structures of literature, and all by, ये देखिए, women, all by women. And why? Seeking to create a method of analyzing literature written by women and to develop models of interpretation. ऐसे मॉडल्स को डेवलप करना उस इंटरप्रिटेशन के अनुसार जो कि फीमेल्स ने एक्सपीरियंस किया हुआ है अपने लाइफ में. अगर हमें उनका एक्सपीरियंस नहीं पता होगा तो कैसे होगा? बेस्ड ऑन फीमेल एक्सपीरियंसेस रादर देन adopting the male interpretive theories and models. We have to basically give more focus on the female experience rather than adopting the male chauvinism or male interpretive theories and models. So if I put her theory into practice, putting her theory into practice, Elaine Showalter edited the anthology Women's Liberation and Literature. उन्होंने एक एंथोलॉजी थी जिसका नाम था विमेंस लिबरेशन एंड लिटरेचर, उसको एडिट किया. एंड दैट एडिशन, दैट एंथोलॉजी कंसिस्ट ऑफ एक्सर्प्ट्स फ्रॉम वर्क्स कंसीडर्ड विच आर एसेंशियल टू द फेमिनिस्ट लिटरेरी स्टडी, सच एज, आपको याद होगा, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नाम हम आपको बताने जा रहे हैं. ये कई बार एग्जाम में आता है नेट में, एंड आई एम श्योर आपको मजा आएगा सुन करके. Some expert excerpts from the work which are essential to the influential feminist literary study, that is Mary Wollstonecraft. Mary Wollstonecraft, आपने ये नाम सुना होगा, मैरी वोllstonecraft, और जिसका नाम है वर्क का A Vindication of the Rights. A Vindication of the, ये a very important rights of women, a vindication of the rights of women. और दूसरा है इब्सन की A Doll's House. इब्सन की है A Doll's House. Any questions? यहां पे आपको कोई चीज ऐसी जो है जो ना समझ में आई हो बच्चों, बताइए. Any questions till now? प्रीतम सरकार, शुभम यश, किरण प्रधान, फिले डैफोज, शुभम यश, सभी शर्मा, सुमन गुप्ता, ऑल ऑफ यू गुड मॉर्निंग. बहुत सारे इसमें हमारे बच्चे भी हैं जो आईएएस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, नेट की तैयारी कर रहे हैं. सभी को एक बार फिर से गुड मॉर्निंग. और यहाँ तक कोई परेशानी, यहाँ तक कोई आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? कैसा आपको लगा? आपको लगा कि हाँ सर ने बहुत कठिन टॉपिक को बहुत सरलता से समझाया? कैन यू राइट समथिंग, फ्यू लाइन्स? Can you share some lines so that I may be able to understand that yes, you have understood a very hard topic in a very easy manner? Neelu, good morning, Neelu. ये चल नहीं रहा. यहाँ पे towards a feminist poetics. सुमन, थैंक यू सो मच. बस एक बात मैं आपको यहाँ पे सभी को बताना चाहूँगा सुमन गुप्ता जी के मैसेज पे, कि चाहे वो टॉपिक बच्चों चौसर हो, और चाहे वो एलेन शेवॉल्टर हो, और चाहे वो अलेक्जेंडर पोप हो, और चाहे वो एडवर्ड सायद हो, और चाहे वो स्टैनली फिश हो, चाहे वो होमी भाभा हो. Every topic is as important to qualify and to have knowledge to qualify any examinations. It depends that how a teacher is teaching and with how concentration the student is taking that adaptability in your mind and your subconscious. So that is why it makes sense to say that my students who study with OSN and under my classes for any course of literature, irrespective that they may not become an IAS officer, they may not become an assistant professor, because 100 out of 100 students cannot qualify. 100 out of 100 students cannot become IAS or NET or JRF, but they become a good human being, because the literature which they cultivate under my guidance makes them a better person, makes them understand the fruitfulness of human life. It is not necessary that you become a lecturer or a professor or an IAS officer. It is important that you become a good human being. And with that level of literature learning, undoubtedly, you cannot be jobless. You cannot be unemployed, because with that level of knowledge, there will be so many people who will admire your knowledge and will give you a good job. Maybe for teaching in the undergraduate, postgraduate, in the coaching centers, you become a journalist, you become a writer, you become a novelist, you become so much. There are so many fields with English literature as a knowledge, if it is your cup of tea. Am I right? Am I right, Suman? So now I am going to discuss the pointers of Towards a Feminist Poetics by Elaine Showalter. See, Showalter's feminist criticism, उसका जो feminist criticism है, वो बहुत ही clearly articulated feminist literary theory है. It is a clearly articulated feminist literary theory. And Elaine Showalter has proposed a separate and independent model of feminist theory, feminist literary theory. How? By rejecting the inevitability of male models. Inevitability of male models and theories, and by recalling the history of women's writing to the present day. और वो उन्होंने अपने ऐसे में ये बताया है, in her essay she talks about the following issues. And what are those following issues? I am going to tell. Women as reader. Women as reader. Note it down. She talks about the following issues in her essay, Women as reader. Then women as writer. The problems of feminist critique. The problems of feminist critique. Program of gynocritics. Program of gynocritics and feminist and female stages. And feminine, पहले लिखिए आप feminine, फिर लिखिए feminist. Feminine, feminist and female stages. And female, you will get 10 out of 10 अगर आपने ये लिख दिया. Fine. Next, आप लिखिए, she divides the female. She divides her female model in two types. पहला, feminist critic. Feminist critic exposing woman as a reader. Exposing women as a reader. और दो है ना, दूसरा क्या है, गाइनोक्रिटिक्स। गाइनोक्रिटिक्स presenting women as a writer. Like this. And she is more inclined to gynocritics. इस पे वो ज़्यादा inclined है. She is more inclined to gynocritics in order to develop a literature of their own. So these are the conceptual studies which students miss at any platform in the country, and that is why the students who are unable to qualify the big examinations, they feel a blankness in their mental level. Now the feminist critique this as a sort of feminist criticism envisions the woman as the readers of those male produced text. तो जो अल्टीमेटली जो फेमिनिस्ट होती हैं, द फेमिनिस्ट, thus वो ढूंढने की कोशिश करते हैं, they try to trace out the images and the stereotype of the women exposed in the male text, and this is also called ट्रेडिशनल फेमिनिस्ट क्रिटिसिज्म, जहां की जो women हैं, they are the consumers of the production in literary writing. और उसके just opposite students, on the contrary, gynocritics is such a phase of feminist criticism जिसमें women becomes writer with women, and that too as the producer of textual meaning, with the history, with the themes, with the genres, with the structures of literature by women. And this is in true sense, सच्चाई में अगर कहा जाए, that is the female model of writing being independent of male values and norms. Why? Because it is reflecting the position and the importance of women's writing in the literary history. So, my dear students, this is my first session of Elaine Showalter with this great topic, and the MPPSC students, the NET students, जिनके कोर्स में है ये, I am very much sure that they must have liked it, and those who wish to be a part of my live classes, recorded classes, IS classes, PGT, TGT, SET, Karnataka, and so many in the world of literature, you can just download the application. I would request the technical team to tell them the link at the message box, and there is a number written on the screen. That number can be used as the WhatsApp number and the calling number to our executive, so that she can help you with the details of whatever you wish to study, whatever study material you want, the crash course, and so many things. I hope you must have liked the session. और इस like के लिए एक like तो बनता है बच्चों, तो एक like दबाएं और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, और कोई भी काउंसलिंग की ज़रूरत हो तो be free to contact me. Thank you, and wait for the next session of this entire show. Take care.